If you want to see a movie with booze, babes, and chubby boobs, we got a movie. What?
Oh, Marshall. Hey.
What?
You
what?
Intro. You always do the clever, fun little intro. I want to try doing the intro.
You think you can handle it?
I think I can, man. I'm ready.
All right, here you go. Here's your shot. Let's see what you got.
This week, we watched Pickaxe. We watched it so you don't have to.
That's it? That's all you got? That's all you got?
Yep, that's all I got, baby.
Well, shit. You heard from me. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is. What's up, Moongoons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, the maleficent, miraculous, magnificent, I think I said that already, fuck it up, Marshall Hampton. With me as always is my co-host, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing on this fine evening?
This is the adorable Adonis Aaron. I can do alliteration too, motherfucker.
Yeah, you can. Alliteration. That's where it's at. Yeah, so thanks for joining us again for this week, guys. This week's movie is another listener suggested one. It was suggested to us by Mr. Jeff Bosniak. This is we've done a couple of his suggestions now. He keeps them coming and we appreciate it. So if you guys want to get in on the action, don't be afraid to send us your suggestions because there's a good chance we'll get to it and we'll do it on the show. That said, this movie is Pickaxe. Originally it was called, I think, The Pickaxe Murders Part 3 or Chapter 3, the final something, some shitty lame attempt.
There's a fusion around that one.
Yeah, it's one of those things where kind of like Thanksgiving 3, where there was no number 2. Where this one there was no number 1 or number 2. They just called it Chapter 3 or something like that. But then they just said, "Fuck it, that's dumb," and just called it Pickaxe. So that's what we're doing. This was made in 2014, but from what I understand, it just now got released back in November 5th, 2019. So just about a year ago, it finally got released. I guess sitting around for 5 years. It was written and directed by Jeremy Summerall. Now, that name might be vaguely familiar to some people. If you listen to our Julian episode, he was mentioned on our Julian interview. And that's because he was the man who played the fat furry killer Beast in Sweatshop.
All right.
He was the killer in that, and he's also an associate producer on Don't Fuck in the Woods 2, which is finally done. Filming is done. It will be released sometime in October for a one-night theatrical screening, and then it'll be released after that. So that's coming up. We're excited about that one.
Very excited about that. That one's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we liked Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in Don't Fuck in the Woods too.
Yeah, I really hope they go bigger and better, and I'm super excited about that one. But yeah, he's a producer on that as well. And this is what he wrote and directed this movie. You can find it on Amazon Prime, Vudu, and Apple TV. That as far as the cast goes, there's like 4 people I'll mention, and even then they're kind of but whatever. First, I'll play Lou, who's played by Sal Governale. Basically, his claim to fame is he's a producer / personality on the Howard Stern show. So if you're a Howard Stern fan, you might recognize him. Then we have Victor, played by Sean Hernandez, who is a professional wrestler who currently works for TNA Wrestling. Other than that, I don't know anything about his wrestling career. I don't know if he's any good. I've never seen him. I just know he's a wrestler, and I think he's still working. Really he's a big guy. You can definitely tell who he is when you see the movie. Sheriff Matthews is played by Michael Baldwin. Now, this one might have some name value for some of you dieharders out there. He played Mike in Phantasm 1, 2, 3, 4, and Phantasm Ravager. So he's basically claimed to fame as the entire Phantasm series. He was Mike in that. There you go.
Wait. He was the kid? One was like, boy. And, was he the boy?
I don't know. Maybe he was the boy and then he grew up to be. I don't know. He just says his character is Mike. I don't remember enough about the movie to know what they were. I know he wasn't Reggie Bannister's character. I know that. So maybe it was Mike. Maybe it's the other one.
Yeah.
Or was Mike like the older brother of the kid? I don't know. I don't remember.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. And then Adrian is played by legendary B-movie and scream queen sci-fi actress Tiffany Shepis. She's kind of our main star in this. So that's really all that's worth mentioning as far as the cast goes in this movie.
Tiffany Shepis has been in quite a few horrible horror movies. Yeah. She may actually kind of primed for the Hall of Fame.
She is, and I'm glad you bring that up because I've been tracking her progress, and she is one of our top candidates for next year's induction. So I think there's a very good chance we'll see her inducted in next year's class. Yep. So with that said, let's jump into Pickaxe. This is going to be a very rough episode, guys, because Aaron and I have been very busy the last few weeks with life happening. Aaron has had family stuff, and I had my daughter's birthday and a lot of other things going on. So it's going to be a bumpy ride episode. Aaron's going to take the lead on this because I didn't have time to get to it, and even his notes are going to be a little wonky. So this could be a very fly by the seat of our pants, wing it type episode. So we'll see what happens. I just want to give you a very fair heads up as to what you're in store for this week. But we're going to do our best to get through this.
Marsh, I have the feeling this is going to be one of our finest episodes.
Well, let's hope so. We'll see what happens.
As bad as Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, where we notes.
Yeah, well, you had no notes, and we had no notes whatsoever on that one.
I think we did good on that one still, too.
But at least with that one, like, I watched it, like, recently. I haven't seen this movie in, like, a good 2 weeks. 3 weeks maybe. So my memory of it is very, very vague. I remember a few things about it, but like overall, like I don't really know what fucking happened.
That's going to be great signs about the quality of this movie.
Yep, exactly. You know what you're in for. So
right. Here I go. Take it away.
Let's go.
So we open with two hapless teenagers in the woods. One boy, one girl, Paul and Dana. And they're searching around by compass in the middle of the fucking night in the woods, looking for an amulet worn by the dead serial killer Alex Black. They're looking for this because Paul says that people pay big money for this. They go crazy for amulets. And the chick's like, hey, come on, let's stop looking. Why would I stop looking? To look at these. And shows off the first pair of tits. And oh my God, is this movie lousy with pale tits.
I like how you used that. Yeah, the descriptor of pale tits.
Dude, some of the whitest tits I've ever seen in my life are in this movie.
Yes, that's true.
And there's tits of all varying shapes and sizes. You've got small tits, big tits, chubby tits, low hangers, high hangers.
There's like the Goldilocks of Three Bears of titties in this movie. They're like, the big, they're all over the place.
It's like a booby buffet. It's so many different types of boobs going on here. So Paul gets distracted. He's like, fuck it. I'm not going to look for this thing anymore. I got titties to nuzzle. They have a sex scene by the fire, which goes on for a while. He finishes and off she goes to take a piss so she doesn't get a UTI. Yeah. Paul just rolling over he just literally rolls over next to the campfire and goes, whoa, the amulet. Let me talk about
this is one thing I do remember because they talk about how this thing's been lost for ages. Like, this is the type of amulet that like Indiana Jones or Laura Croft would be hunting and have trouble finding, supposedly. But this jabroni just kind of like rolls over after getting, banging a chick. He's like, oh, it's right there in the middle of the night. What's the coincidence? What are the odds on that one? Like, there it is. It's fucking.
So as he's like, I did it, baby, I found it. She's like, oh, that's great. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be rich. She's like, not we. And he turns around and she cuts his head off with a pickaxe. She just gets out of nowhere, just pulls it up and chops off his head in one swoop.
Which, by the way, would be like impossible to cut somebody's head off with a pickaxe. It's not a slashing weapon. Like, there's no way you could chop a head off with a pickaxe in one stroke like that. It's fucking ridiculous.
So
Well, I'm
she
like,
picks up
whatever.
the severed head and starts like kissing it, going, "Poor Paul, you big dummy." It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this certifiable.
I kind of
She
liked it though, like the whole like kissing the severed head. I was like, okay, she's crazy.
she's
Um,
fucking
yeah,
yeah.
like apparently like there's something about where she reveals. I guess she's in a cult or like a worshiper where she's like wants the amulet so she can like bring back like resurrect this guy. That's what like she wants to instead of selling it or putting it in a museum, she wants to resurrect the serial killer because I guess she's got like some kind of like weird girl crush on a serial killer and wants to bring him back to life for their cult
And
or
she
something.
pulled the severed head above her naked body as blood's dripping all over, and she's babbling something in Latin that she probably looked up, and she's just saying the same thing over and over again.
Kind of hot though.
Yeah. We pan over and we like it just kind of pans to the ground and we see an arm come shooting out of the ground. Again, really close by. Very
very close by.
Series will not rest in peace.
Yes. So the guy's like buried right by where the amulet's found. Like, geez, again, like, what are the odds of this? Like, it's so ridiculous.
That's our opening. We cut to some text on a screen that provides a little bit of backstory.
But doesn't he kill her though? Like he comes back and then like he kills her.
I don't remember him killing her. I don't remember him. That's all I remember. Like, dude, when I watched it, because I even was like, what the fuck? Because we never see her again. I don't think he killed her.
I thought he did. Like, I was the impression like maybe he cut away, but I thought he killed her. Like, because she's like, yeah, I brought you back, and then he kills her, and it's like, I thought it was one of those things.
I did not know.
I don't know.
I'm disappointed because if he did kill her, it was the most meaningless kill and must have been so fast. I literally like looked at my soda pop and looked back, and she was dead. Or, which I think is probably what happened, they just cut and just said, "Fuck it, whoops, we're dummies."
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's what happened because I don't know. I thought Chris Warren she got killed, but whatever.
How editing goes in this movie, probably the case. So as I was saying, we cut to some text screen that provides a little bit of backstory. We find out that Black was a crazed killer thought to be the son of Satan. He went on a rampage at Camp Arapahoe? I love that word. Camp Arapahoe back in 1982 and killed several teens. 6 years later, now it's 1988. Black has come back to finish what he started. Thanks to, Latin spouting tits.
Bloody tits.
Yeah. And honestly, I would say that opening scene is probably the best part of the movie. And it just gets a little rocky from here.
Yeah, I think you're right about that one.
Yeah, because it's 1988, and we're introduced to a group of teenagers, played our two girls, Jamie and Heather, and our two boyfriends, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I don't remember their fucking names, and it doesn't fucking matter. Jamie's boyfriend and Heather's boyfriend, and they're interchangeable.
It doesn't matter.
They're exactly the same person. They not only do they act the same, they actually look the same. They both look like 30-year-old guys who still work at Best Buy. So they're in high school and they're doing high school antics, kind of being like real. The Jamie chick is running up the stairs, flipping off a teacher because she's so psyched that she won tickets to see this heavy metal band. And as she's running up the stairs in her super short skirt, her ass is hanging out. And I did find this kind of funny. The teacher's like, "Oh my God, look, you can't see that, ma'am." She starts yelling back into the office. He's like, "Sarah, come over here. This is the type of underwear I want you to get." I thought was pretty funny because you expected him to like discipline her, but no, he was excited because he was going to show off his fetish for underwear to, I guess, his lady. So in this scene, also we come across Jamie's brother. I think his name is Ben. He is a super duper whooper nerd, completely lame, and Jamie cannot stand it. She fucking hates him. Anytime he opens his mouth, they really nerded him up.
It's over the top nerdy with him, and what's even worse is the reaction. I mean, I get siblings can bicker in times, especially in high school. You go with that, but like there's so much just pure disdain and hatred coming from her towards her brother that it gets really annoying really fast because he's not doing anything like and to
No,
bother her. He's not a bad guy. He's not being annoying. He's not being a dick or trying to annoy her in any way. He's just like, hey sis, how you doing? He's like, shut up, fuck you, I hate you. He's like, it's so over the top. It gets really old really fast.
she starts at a 10.
Yeah.
You know, there's no buildup. She's just right off the bat. You know, he's talking about going to this nature exhibit to watch the mating happens of the brown recluse. You know, it's like, how much dorky can you get? Like, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Come on, math fair, science fair.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You don't get something so ridiculous. And she flips the fuck out.
Yeah.
So we meet him. By the way, wonderful acting. just absolutely tits acting. But so we're introduced to our teens. We cut to Sheriff Matthews. I'm sorry, but their teens say, yeah, we're going to go see this concert. We're going to stay at Heather's Lake House, which is right next to the venue. So that's the plan. The teens are all going to get together in the van, go to the concert, and hang out at Heather's house, and woohoo, it's going to be a party good time. We cut to Sheriff Matthews, who has apparently played a role in killing Black back in 82. Guess we find out he comes to a small watering hole where we meet our hillbilly couple who own the place. These accents are pretty thick. I think this was in West Virginia. Do you know where this movie was filmed? I'm pretty sure it was West Virginia.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. We've actually had quite a good handful of independent horror movies come out of West Virginia that we've seen on the show. So I get it probably wouldn't. There's a good chance it was, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Pretty sure it's West Virginia because their accents are like grating.
Yeah.
So, and then the sheriff's asking about a missing couple. We're assuming it's Paul and Dana. Asking about a missing couple if they had stopped. You know, he tells them a description and says, "Hey, have you guys seen him around?" And the couple's like, "Yeah, they were in here. They were asking about Alex Black." And spit take. Sheriff can't believe it. Oh my God, you talked about Alex Black. What'd you tell him? And the hillbilly's like, well, I just told him the same thing I told him. It's just a whole bunch of hogwash. Just a bunch of stories. You don't have to worry about that shit. Goddamn, Sheriff, I ain't no dummy. So Sheriff's like, well, I'm still going to look around for him. The hillbilly decides to tell the sheriff, well, I don't know if you knew this, but Adrian's back in town too. Oh. So around this time, we're introduced to Adrian. This is Tiffany Shepis. I'm just going to call her Tiffany Shepis.
Yeah, it's fine to me.
Yeah. She's the one so Tiffany Shepis, you get the implication that she killed Black during his first rampage in 82. The couple kind of talks about how she's been in and out of mental institutions, and now she's just drowning herself in copious amounts of alcohol to help deal with her emotional fallout.
Yeah, and there's something at some point they explain it. Like I don't know if it's now or later in the movie. But yeah, part of the whole thing with her going in and out of the hospital is that she also has this belief, you know, very Laurie Strode from Halloween, kind of like he's not dead, he's still out there, he's gonna come back, you know, and so that's one reason why they kept locking her up because everybody thought that she was just, you know, delusional and gone crazy. And so yeah, she's been released now. Now she just basically drinks at the bar all day, every day.
Man, she spends pretty much the whole movie drunk.
Yeah. And just phoning it in though too. Like you could definitely tell this is just a paycheck movie for the old Tifter there.
I wonder if she was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do method acting.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally just be drunk the whole time.
Hammer. And see where this baby goes.
I love that idea, and God, I hope that's true. I really hope that was the case.
It's hard to tell if her acting's any good or not because she's just always drunk.
Yeah.
So I mean, like maybe she's doing a good job. Maybe she's just drunk
and see where this train goes.
Although it's better than the so-called quote unquote teens we have. So that's
and that's saying something. The girl who's phoning it in drunk is acting circles around everybody else.
Yeah. So we get a scene where the teenagers are driving down the road. They're heading out. It's the two chicks, Jamie and Heather, and the two boyfriends in the front. They're both kind of talking about how they're, the girl's saying, I will give the lead singer a blowjob if I don't care. And then the boyfriend in the front, who's Jamie's boyfriend, saying, I'm going to get so much pussy on this trip. So obviously they don't have a lot of I guess they do have a commonality where they don't care about each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this scene, basically the only thing you need to know is the brother. Wait, actually, no, this comes later. I apologize. The van breaks down while they're on their way. They're all bummed out. They're like, we can't make it to the concert. The van's broken down. Oh my God, woe is me. Out of nowhere, we're talking, this is a dirt road, completely rural, in the middle of nowhere. Out of nowhere comes fucking Shaggy 2000, and Fat Stindel from Mortal Kombat 3. She is a chubbers. Actually, this is something I believe back in high school we would call a chunky sucker. She's the kind of gal you don't want to sleep with, but you're betting she'll give a good blowjob because she has to. Anyway, all right, they're just like, hey, got car trouble? Looks like you're going to the concert, so are we. They're wearing matching band shirts.
Yeah.
So Shaggy 2000 somehow magically fixed the van by, I don't know, blowing weed smoke into it. And boom, it fires right up. They're like, okay, can we get a ride too? And sure enough, they all hop in the van and they're hitting the road. And when the Stoner and Fat Sindel throw their baggage in the back, you hear this, ow! And up pops the nerdy brother. The nerdy brother's a stowaway. And just like before, the fucking sister Jamie flips the fuck out and just can't fucking handle that her brother's on the road. Everyone else is like, who cares? It's really not that big a deal. But like you said before, her overacting is just off the charts. That's when we cut to Sheriff. He's going to go see Tiffany Shepis and kind of find out what's going on with her. She's all drunk and fucked up and falling over at her place. And he's basically talking to her like, hey, I see you're back. She's like, don't you know that Black is back? And he's gonna find us.
Wish I had an AC/DC queued up right there for that. Back in Black.
Black.
Oh, well.
And this is where Sheriff Black mentions that there were some dead bodies he found.
Sheriff Matthews. Let's clear that. Sheriff Matthews.
Sheriff Shepis. I don't know. Sheriff Matthews. He says he found some dead bodies. Now, I'm assuming this is Paul and Dana from the beginning.
That's what I assumed too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because I don't know what else, unless there's just some other random weird bodies that we never see that it just kind of like trying to build like backstory, like, oh, there's other people that were killed. But as far as I know, I assumed it was the opening couple.
Yeah, and of course Shepis is like, it's Alex Black. And of course, he doesn't believe her because she doesn't have the credibility with her stints in mental hospitals and her raging alcoholism. She starts calling. You kind of get an implication that they had a sexual relationship at one point.
Thank you. I was gonna say, I think before they started yelling at her, like, she's like, as soon as he walks in, doesn't she just like take her pants off? She's like, all right, let's go ahead and do this there, Sheriff. Let's get this done. And then I was like, whoa.
I was like, what the fuck's going on there? But like when she starts calling him a faggot, basically, and says, don't come back here unless you're ready to fuck.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like shuffling off, carrying a bottle of fucking Old Crow, going, goddamn faggot. I was like, Jesus Christ.
The writing in this is real top notch, real deep, real.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Sheriff Matthews and I'm like, God damn, you're old enough to be your father.
Yeah,
like he's pretty old, man.
I mean, he's not. We've seen older sheriffs in these movies. He's not that old, but like he is looking old. Like he's probably at least in his 50s, maybe 60s.
I'd say early 50s. And Tiffany Shepis is like 40.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's at least she's about probably around our age, 40 or so now.
So yeah, I thought that was a little wacky. So we cut to the teens stopping at a gas station / bar. It's kind of like it's where the hillbilly couple owns. It's like a gas station too, and like a
Yeah.
snack, like a whole bunch of different shit they got going on. A one thing stop.
A one-stop white trash haven or redneck.
Booyah! I like that.
They probably sell bait and ammo along with dip, gas, and beer. So they probably got everything there.
Fuck yeah, brother. So the teens head on in and they order a shitload of food. And the big joke is that one of the boyfriends is going to eat a bunch of bean burritos and shit all over the place.
Again, highbrow writing in this movie. Very
Big
highbrow.
Outside, the nerd is trying to make his way in as well. But
I love this scene. If this is what's about to happen, I think it is. This is really kind of fucking crazy. And like, go on. Just go on. It's
too pudgy, unattractive. I guess
one's pudgy. The other is not that pudgy, but yeah.
It's still kind of like, ugh. Another chunky sucker, I guess.
Yeah.
They accost this kid. They're just like, hey, where are you going? Why don't you come over here? And they basically shove him into a phone booth and they jerk him off to completion.
In his pants, by the way. In the pants.
Yeah, that's a weird scene.
It's so weird. It's so out of the blue. And it's like, what? I feel bad
for him because he looks like he doesn't want to say. He basically just got hand raped by these bitches.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's really enjoying it, but he's always like being overpowered by these two white trash redneck prostitutes. Like, and they're just like, you jerk them off, and they're like, all right. And like the whole thing is like, while they're jerking him, one's jerking him off, and like the other's like playing with his hair or teasing him, but then also like ganks his wallet. And then so this is their hustle. They jerk people off and then steal their wallets mid coming or something like that, or mid hand job.
Really. I mean, if you're gonna get robbed, that's not a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
So inside the bar, it's the hillbilly couple. The teenagers are buying drinks and having beers, and out of nowhere comes Tiffany Shepis. So we just saw her with the sheriff, and now she's at the bar. And she's all drunk, and she's calling Heather. It's like, you look like her, you bitch, you look like her. And she's, the bartenders are like, get out of here, you old coot. And they just kind of shoo her off. So there's that. Let's see, where are my notes here? That's when we cut to the teens finally arrive at the cabin. They're playing Truth or Dare. Jamie, like, they're playing Truth or Dare. We come into them playing Truth or Dare, mid Truth or Dare. The fat Sindel chick is sitting on the couch, just topless, with her titties hanging out.
Yeah, so weird. It's like you just cut her and she's half naked already.
Just already half naked. So I'm guessing she had to take her top off or something. Anyway, they have Jamie kiss fat Sindel. She's like, it's gross. Then Heather says, I'll take Truth. I don't want to do Truth or Dare. And then
I just wish somebody would have dared Fat Sindel to put her shirt back on. That was like, why would you? If all the girls are going to dare take her top off, why her? Why her? But whatever.
They're big, fat, floppy, white, pierced titties. I don't know. So Heather doesn't want to, do a dare because it's getting fucking weird, obviously.
Yeah.
So she says Truth. And her truth turns out to be the story of how her brother was one of the victims of Alex Black 6 years ago during the massacre. What? So
yeah, that came out of nowhere.
This came out of completely nowhere. The actress, she starts crying, telling the story about how he was with his girlfriend. His girlfriend went out to go skinny dipping in the lake, and in the middle of the lake, like he's fucking Jason Voorhees, he drowns her. Her brother goes out to try and save her, and he also gets like in the middle of the lake. What? I thought this guy was fucking Pickaxe.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And she's crying, and they're like, "Whoa, you didn't tell us! I can't believe you didn't tell us!" Whoa. And she kind of made a good point. It's like, well, what am I gonna say? Yeah, by the way, like it's not gonna make me very popular. It's not gonna, it's not something I really want to talk about. Something I kind of want to forget. So that's the story. So that's our connection. And then she starts talking about how Tiffany Shepis was saying, "You look like her. You look like her." Is that Tiffany Shepis was friends with her brother. And at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
But that's the connection they're trying to make, which is pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realize I keep forgetting at times that we are in audio format. Even though we're doing this remotely, I'm just here shaking my head like, yeah. And like, oh, wait, you can't see me shake my head. Agree. So I actually say, yeah. It makes no sense. Yeah.
The brother Ben, he's like, wow, that's intense. Wow. And then he stands up and starts feeling his butt and is like, oh no, my wallet. And I have the tickets.
Yeah. That was part of that was one of the big things. Like he somehow was given the tickets to hold on to.
And his wallet was stolen by the two whores, who we now cut to them.
Yeah.
We to our two whores in the middle of the woods, sitting on a tire on the ground.
Yeah. Like, this is like their weird, like, pimps brothel or pimp hangout. Like, their pimp is just like, the pimp is Sean Hernandez, the wrestler guy, this big guy. But like his horror palace is just this weird campsite in the woods. It's like, what? What the fuck?
So trashy. It's the trashiest shit ever. Like, he's pimping out his thieving whores in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
With not even full tents, just like half a blanket holding up.
Like, yeah, it's like a lean-to.
Yeah, yes. I didn't know what those were called, but yeah, you're right. Oh my God. And this guy is gigantic.
Huge. Yeah.
Like, just totally giant, ripped dude. How does he afford all that food he's got to eat to maintain that physique?
I don't know. I mean,
all he got was $15 and some rock and roll tickets, and he is pissed off.
And of course, he's an unhappy pimp because you never see a happy pimp. He's like, "What's wrong with you bitches? Get out there, you're not making me my money, and you suck." And I don't know, something like that. And I don't know if they're lesbians too, like they go off and fuck or something. I don't know. There's a weird.
Well, what happens is he tells the skinnier one to clean this place up, and tells the chubby one to get naked.
That's, again, why would tell the chubby one to clean up? You can tell the thinner one to get naked.
So well, maybe he's the chunky chaser. Who knows? To each their own. But she obliges, gets completely naked. We see some bush.
Yep.
And then goes off to ride Hernandez like a fucking stallion. More like a burro, pardon me. So off goes thinner prostitute into the woods, bitching about how, what do you want me to clean up? It's just dirt and leaves. She doesn't get 2 steps away from the campsite when out comes Alex Black. Now, we haven't seen Alex Black for a minute.
Right.
It's been a half an hour. It's been a half an hour of crazy bullshit before Alex Black finally pops back out. And this movie's only like 70 minutes long.
Yeah, it's not a full-length one.
So it's like, what the fuck? Finally, here's the killer. And you're expecting him to, I don't know, throw an axe into her head or have some sort of like, good kill. He basically just grabs her face and squishes her face, and a bunch of mouth blood comes out.
Mouth blood.
And she's dead. Okay. So we cut back to the campsite where Chunky Sucker is going ahead and riding her burro. They're doing close up their face as they're fucking. It's really bizarre. First person, like, back and forth between Hernandez and the chick. But up comes Black, and he grabs the chick's head and drags her off into the woods. And as he's dragging her off into the woods, it gets real weird. They're doing like 2 different shots back and forth of her face. The right side, the left side, the right side, the left side. It's really distracting.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a weird choice. It didn't make any sense. And so let's try and think of the logistics here for a minute. So he just pulls this chick off of Hernandez mid-fuck, drags her off into the woods, far enough where Hernandez has to come after. Like he takes a while to get after him. He takes the chick's head, one hand on top, one hand underneath, and I guess he's supposed to be crushing her head. But again, it's obviously he can't crush the actress's head because that would kill her. And there's just blood pouring out the top and blood pouring up the bottom, which is really strange.
Yeah.
And she's dead. So it's just like he held her head and she bled a whole lot. Boom, she's dead. Hernandez is right on his heels and he's just walking up like, I'm not kidding. This is pretty much how it's delivered. Motherfucker, you killed my best bitch. She was my top earner.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, kick your ass. Don't even step to me, motherfucker. Don't even step. And then we see Alex Black just take one step towards him, reach out his arms, and break Hernandez's neck. Instantly killed.
Yeah.
Hernandez does a decent back bump as he falls. And
I hope so. Like, yeah, at least hope he can fall, right? I mean, geez.
So pissed off.
Yeah.
Pissed off because I mean this guy is huge, he's big. The guy who plays Alex Black is really big.
I thought we get some kind of like decent like fight scene or something, like the wrestler gonna do some stunts or some bumps or something, but no, it's one of the lamest, if not the lamest kill in the whole movie.
I mean, I think they try to do it for comedic effect, but it just flopped.
I don't know if it was comedic effect. Here's my take was maybe because I don't see much comedic effect in this movie, but my thought was maybe they were trying to, by taking the biggest, strongest, most imposing non-killer guy in the movie and having your killer kill him basically with one hand instantly, is to try to make the killer seem that much more powerful and imposing that he can take out such a big guy with ease. That's the only thing I can get out of that, because I don't think it was for comedic effect at all.
I felt like it was for comedic effect. I just thought it was shitty. I think you're giving him too much credit.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am giving him way too much credit.
All right, so this is where we go back to the house. We see that Fat Sindel is out sneaking around with Jamie's boyfriend, and they wind up fucking against a tree. Jamie gets annoyed by this and decides to fuck Shaggy 2000 instead as revenge. And so there's just a whole bunch of fucking going on.
Lots of fucking going on. And I'm sorry, I will admit this, in all my sexual escapades throughout my life, I've never had sex up against a tree. And honestly, I don't know if I really want to. Right? And I can't imagine the girl normally it's always the girl whose back's up against a tree would want that either. Because I don't think the bark would fucking hurt your back. Like, that cannot be a comfortable position. Like, maybe she's bent over, arms in tree, you're banging her from behind, she's got her arms against tree. Maybe that's one thing, but if she's just back up against tree, that seems so uncomfortable and unpleasant. Like, I just don't, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some girls out there who like that.
But do things in West Virginia, man.
It is West Virginia, but man, that just seems like it would hurt the back. Like, just getting scratched up by bark.
So we cut to, there's a lot of fucking going on.
Whole lot of fucking going on.
Yeah. We cut to the two hillbillies, the hillbilly bar owners. They're taking out the garbage. And this scene is so bizarre. They're both talking in their southern accents, and she says to the man, "You can cut your accent out now." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, if one of them found out I'm from Brooklyn, the mob would be here in 2 seconds, and boom, boom, I'd be dead."
Yeah, he suddenly turns into like Andrew Dice Clay or something like that. It's like,
yeah. So suddenly this idea that this guy he's in the witness protection, or he's escaping the mob. That's the implication they're giving.
Yeah.
She starts saying, bullshit. And he's like, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm tired of your attitude. Suck my dick." And she's like, "Okay." I mean,
I know. It's like, what? Like, that's all it takes?
That's all. That's exactly how their foreplay goes. They insult each other. He gets mad, says, "Suck my dick." And she's like, "Cool."
Yeah, it's not like the romantic, like, let's role play, like, "Hey, baby, suck my dick." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, all right, let's do it." He's like, "Fuck you, bitch, suck my dick." He's like the offensive, like insulting way to say suck my dick. Not like, and she's like, "Yeah, all right, let's go."
He's sucking. He goes, "Oh, babe, bitch, you're hardly getting me hard. Turn around." She turns around and drops her pants.
Yep.
as he's plowing her.
West Virginia girls must be really fucking easy, man. Jesus.
And dirty because they're out by the
dirt.
dumpster.
Yeah, they are. They're by the dumpster. In the dumpster, in the woods, like on tires. Like it's weird. Like what is happening here? In this
Their idea of dumpster diving.
Ah, boom. I like that.
So as he's fucking her from behind, out comes Alex Black. I guess the whorehouse is close by. Who knows? Yeah. And while the dude's mid-stroke, he goes "Wow!" and puts a pickaxe through his back and not the front. So now he got a pickaxe nowhere.
I will say this movie definitely has some of the most egregious violations of like killer teleportation we've seen in a while. This fucker travels so much distance so quickly on foot. Like, god damn, he should be like entering marathons or shit. Like, he'd give like them Kenya runners a run for their money. Like,
he's making Nightcrawler blush.
He really is.
Yeah. So the chick, after boy gets impaled from the back, she feels something wet splashed against her and goes, "Well, it's about time." And it's only been like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She's like, "Done coming." Turns around and gets an axe in her head. So axe to the head, pickaxe to the head. Not bad kills, the best kills so far. But that's where we're at. We cut back to the teens in the cabin. They're all awake. They're all, they can't find Chunky Sucker and old boy. And I just realized that. So they pan to Chunky Sucker and old boy out there in the woods. They just got done fucking. He's like, "How was it? Was 1 out of 10? Was I 36?" She's like, "Nah, you're fine." But they don't even get 2 steps before Alex Black pops out again.
Again.
Just like that, he's there. I don't remember how he kills Chunky Sucker. I think he just axes her in the stomach. But he turns around and slashes old homeboy, the boyfriend, in the stomach. And he winds up holding his guts in his hands, which is basically sausage links covered in marinara sauce.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
So I got to say, he's pretty spry for a guy who just got disemboweled. I think he stands up and takes a few steps and falls back down. And yeah, he's pretty alert.
Would you say he's pretty spry for a white guy?
For a disemboweled white guy, yeah. I would. But he doesn't last long, and he dies. Now the people inside don't hear this, and they're just saying, "Where's Chunky Sucker and old boy? We can't find them. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to the concert anyway. We have 2 tickets, and all we need to get is get 2 people more in. And the girls' plan is they're going to show their tits at the door to get into the concert." Which,
again, for girls, solid plan. Probably works a lot low level concerts. But like, I want to comment on this because one thing we haven't done a good job of yet, and when you watch them, you definitely notice in them if you actually watch this thing. But so much time, like, first, remember, they're supposed to go to a concert. Like, and it's supposed to be like a big concert too. Like, it's like the way they sell it, it's like, oh my God, it's like Green Day playing at an arena or something like that. That's the type of level they build this thing up to be.
They really sell it.
They sell it. So every concert I've been to normally starts around 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the evening, somewhere around there. So much time, they waste so much time driving from their hometown to driving up to where this concert is, and then at the bar, then at this house playing Truth or Dare, boning each other, and then they realize, oh yeah, the concert, like, by the time this concert happens, it probably won't even be starting until like midnight. Like, the time frame in this movie makes zero fucking sense whatsoever. You have no idea how much time has passed between anything or when anything's actually happening. Because, like, the whole thing's like, we got to get to the concert. But they keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. They do all this other shit in between. And then when they finally do get to the concert, like I said, it would be like midnight. But when this thing actually finally starts, or they actually pay enough attention to get there. Because the whole premise is that. And they just keep fucking around and like ignoring it the whole time. Like, it's really shittily done. Like, I can't even explain it well, but it's bad. It's so bad.
It is really bad. But they're gonna go to the concert. So that's the plan. Before they go to the concert, though, old Sheriff, old man balls, Sheriff
Sheriff
Matthews,
Matthews.
he decides he finds the dead bodies of the hillbilly couple, and he's like, "By God!" And then realizes the number one suspect's got to be Tiffany Shepis.
Yep, because she's
So he
finally
goes
lost it.
Yeah, he goes to Tiffany Shepis' house and says, "I can't believe you did it. I can't believe you killed those folks. I know they give you a hard time for being a drunk old coot, but how could you kill him?" And she's like, "I didn't kill him. It was Alex Black. It was Alex Black." And she by the way, she's also carrying a rifle.
Yeah, she's strapped.
She's already armed. She already has a fucking pump action shotgun on her. The cop tells her to drop the gun. She's like, "Don't you?" She's like, "I'm not gonna drop it." He pulls her gun. They got the Mexican standoff going on.
Yep.
And we cut away. It's like one of the actual interesting moments in the movie. Something's actually kind of like, ooh, Mexican standoff. Those are always kind of fun. Nope, cut away. Just like that. We go to the concert. So the chicks show up to the concert. They flashed their titties. There's a joke about one of the bouncers being a woman, but she still wants to see some titties.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because it's one of that old thing, like, the first bouncer is like a dude. Like, oh, we got this made, and flash your titties, and you go in, and then like right when they get to the front of the line, like, oh, my brake's on, and he gets relieved by the woman, like, oh fuck, but they're like, she's like, yeah, I'll see them titties.
So they go in, and like Marsha was saying earlier, they were hyping this so much, hyping this as a big fucking show to end all shows, and god damn it, if it isn't just a small ass venue, like just it's a like bar.
They might be just playing it. I don't know if they might even be playing the Hillbilly Bar gas station for all I know. That's basically where they're at.
It's like it's a pretty big stage, but it's a small bar. It can maybe hold about 100. It's your small venue, your classic small venue. So after they pump this fucking thing up to the goddamn roof about how blowout balls awesome this is gonna be,
yeah,
it's got to be a fucking small venue with a decent light show.
Yeah.
God damn, I was so disappointed. I'm like, really?
I know. I know it's low bud, and I'm sure they can't rent like Madison Square Garden or something for a fucking concert, but like seriously, like
don't hype so much.
Yeah, like if you want to do the concert, fine. Just say, hey, we got tickets. We're gonna see this band, or just say something like, hey, they're doing a like a pop-up show, like they're going back to the roots and playing a small, like a small venue instead of the arenas. This puts one line or two lines in the script to explain it, and it's so you're not like making it out to be like I said, like you're seeing fucking Green Day or Metallica at like the arena or a stadium when it's just like some shitty band at a bar you can see on like any Saturday night. So
yeah. So they're there at the show. The opening band's gets done, and they're like, "Next up is Metal Nuts." I don't know their name.
Yeah, it's some really like cliche like metal band, like Black Blood of Death or Raven Orgy or some shit like that. It's something really lame.
So yeah, and then we get a quick little cutscene of the band in the back getting ready for the show. They're doing coke off of more tits, and the one black guy in the movie is like their manager, like, "Come on, y'all, let's gotta go. We gotta go outside on stage, or I'll do some coke off them titties." It's a really awkward scene. It's really weird. It doesn't need to be there. The band gets on stage, and they look like it's an actual band. I'm not sure if it is or not, but they all have shitty wigs on. They're trying to play up this 80s hair metal thing, but they just look ridiculous. They're like, "All right, thank you. We're about to rock." And as soon as they start playing, out comes Alex Black.
Yep, because we who knew he was such a music lover.
On stage.
On stage.
On stage, and everyone just woo. And he just starts just killing motherfuckers left and right. He starts killing the band members. He's throwing pickaxes to the chest, pickaxe to the head. The people in the crowd start to realize that, oh my God, this is not part of the act.
Did this scene remind you of a certain scene in another movie that we've done?
Please enlighten me.
It's very reminiscent of Knucklebones, the rave, where the killer is walking through, killing everybody left and right. And like I said, the killer in Knucklebones was the guy who wrote and directed this movie, so I think he just stole that scene from Knucklebones. He's like, hey, I'll just do that again at a concert.
Not, not Knucklebones.
Oh yeah, not Knuckle. I'm sorry, Sweatshop.
Yeah,
Sweatshop.
I was like,
I was thinking Julian. It's Sweatshop. The Raven Sweatshop.
yes, you know what? Now, when you think about it, you're right. There is some similarities there.
Because he's just going ape shit. He's just going ham, like as you like to say, and everybody on this bar. Like, there's bodies dropping everywhere. People screaming.
Most of the people in the crowd just stand around and scream for a good while before running off. We see the pickaxe going through the eye. We see a disembowelment. It's really quick cuts. There's one gag where he rips off a girl's shirt and her titties are flopping around, and she just goes, "That was my favorite shirt," and runs off. And I don't know. I guess that's supposed to be funny. The teens all get together and go, and they're making their escape. But so I apologize. I need to go back once the killing starts. Once he kills all the band members, we cut back to the sheriff and Tiffany Shepis and their Mexican standoff. We get a cut scene, and then all of a sudden they got guns drawn on each other.
And she drops her pants and they start banging. Because why the fuck not? No, I wish that would have fucking happened, but no, it doesn't happen.
Because that's actually not too far off from how this movie's been.
It's not.
It's really not. So she actually drops her gun and says, "Okay, you got me." And he puts her placing her under arrest for the murder of these two people. A call comes across on the radio saying, "Sheriff, we got a crazy massacre going on at the Pig and Poke. They got a man that's killing people left and right with a pickaxe. Oh my God, it's crazy." And that's when Tiffany Shepis like, "You dumb motherfucker, it's Alex Splash." And he goes, "Wait, what? Are you sure about that?" And he's like, "Yes, Sheriff, gotta get over there now." And he goes, he's just like, "Tiffany Shepis, you're no longer under arrest." Lets her go, and so then they run off. They magically appear at the club, as the massacre is still going on. So they show up at the club as the massacre is still occurring. Tiffany Shepis asks Sheriff Matthews, "You want to go in the front or the rear?" And he goes, "I'll go in the front." She goes, "I see you've changed in your day."
Yeah, like an anal sex joke. Yeah. So yeah, get that fucking anal sex joke in there. I fucking love it.
So crazy they have to do this joke right when Tiffany Shepis' character has been traumatized, in and out of mental institution. She's a drunk. No one believes her. And yet she's still got time for quick, sexy whip quips. Yep. Jesus Christ. So they run in, and sure enough, he's still killing people left and right. And the sheriff runs in, he's like, "Freeze!" And of course he doesn't freeze. He's coming at the sheriff. He pops the sheriff shoots him 5 or 6 times to no effect. Alex Black gives him a gut full of pickaxe and walks away as the sheriff squiggles around on the ground. We see the teenagers get into their van and drive off. All 4 of them get into the van and they're gone. Peel out. They're driving away. Next scene, we see them stop right at the house, and they're running inside to get Ben and grab some things and get the fuck out. Ben, however, in the meantime, which happened a little bit earlier, was a girl from school who we've never seen before or never even knew who it was, just shows up, says, "I followed you guys here. Can I come in?" And Ben goes, "For what?" And she looks at him like, "To fuck."
Yeah, I think this girl, they mentioned her name once, in the beginning of the movie, when they were still at school. I think they name dropped her once, but so she was referenced. But yeah, we've never seen her before or anything. Yeah, but she's like, "I just followed you here because I want to bang." So, so she bangs the fucking nerd guy in a chair.
Yeah, so while they're banging, in come the teens, "We got to get the fuck out of here. We got to get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Oh my God." So they're gathering up their things to go. And in comes, or Alex Black is outside killing the guy, the other boyfriend driver. Boom, he's dead. We don't really see it. We just see him get pulled out of the car.
Yeah. And like Aaron said, keep in mind, he was just at the bar, the concert at the bar. The kids leave, get in their car, race off in a car, get miles away to this house, and Alex Black on foot is like right there instantly. Like it's fucking bullshit.
That was the worst. That's the worst offense.
It is. It's the worst of all of them in this movie. Yeah, it's definitely the worst.
So Alex Black kills Fatty McGee, who's trying to fuck Ben. I think he just hits her with the axe. She falls.
Well, the nerd girl, or not the nerd girl, the girl who fucks the nerd wasn't fat. Wasn't fatty.
Yeah, she was.
Was she? I don't remember being that fat. But okay.
She was pretty fat. Anyway, doesn't matter. She's dead. The Alex Black starts going after Ben. He's about to kill him when Jamie all of a sudden changes her entire demeanor and saves her brother by jumping on Alex Black's back and knocking him kind of like off balance as Heather and Ben go running away, leaving her to die.
Yes. Yeah.
She's on her hands and knees, kind of crawling, like on her butt, kind of trying to crab walk away as he throws down the axe into her chest, killing her. So Jamie's dead. So all that's left, we have Ben and Heather. Then Ben decides, you know what? Now that you killed my sister, I guess I'll fight you now.
Yeah.
And he's Alex Black. He's like, come on. He kind of like doing a little shuck and jive kind of thing going on. As this is happening, Heather's looking for the keys to her boyfriend's now dead body. Alex Black comes up to Ben, grabs him by the neck, and just throws him against the tree. As he hits the tree, he falls, and then we get like a slow motion tight shot of his face as a little bit of mouth blood comes out.
Mouth blood.
It's weird. Like he hit the tree kind of hard, but not nearly like they didn't sell it like he got killed, but it's like it's like he's seemingly dead. So Alex Black turns his attention towards Heather. She goes driving off, but he jumps on the side of the van. And it's actually not a bad shot here of him like clinging to the side of the van, speeding down the road. He's trying to fight for the wheel. She's trying to drive away. She wrecks. She goes off the road. The van's useless. She climbs out the other side and goes running off into the woods. So as she's running off into the woods, she's particularly tripping and falling all the way, and eventually Black catches up to her. About when he's about to put a pickaxe in her skull, that's when Tiffany Shepis and Sheriff Matthews show up and start shooting him in the chest. Even though Black didn't seem to be fazed by bullets previously, these bullets seem to be special because he goes down. He starts like going down. He starts falling. Of course, he's not dead. He's not a dead guy. And please remind me, does Black hop back up and kill the sheriff, or does the sheriff just die from his wounds?
I wish I remembered, but better.
Sheriff's dead.
Yeah, sheriff dies. I think part of me wants to say I think Black gets up and kills the sheriff, but yeah. I can't be 100% on that because it's been like 3 weeks since I've seen the movie. But either way, the sheriff dies one way or the other.
As they kind of run off, that's what it was. Yeah, he was fighting with the sheriff. Adrian and Heather Shepis and Heather run off. Shepis is like, you got to take the amulet off his neck. That's the only way to kill him. That's where all his power source comes from. Sure, why not? So you got to rip this amulet off, and you'll be able to kill him.
Which doesn't make sense to me because like he was already alive and had power before he had the amulet at the beginning because he killed the opening couple without the amulet and then he took it or something like that, right? So,
well, you mean she resurrected? Who fucking knows?
Yeah, like, it would make so much more sense like if she got the amulet and then took it to his body and put it on his dead body, and that's what brought him back. And then they could say, "Oh, you got to take the amulet off. That's what will kill him," because we saw that's how it brought him back to life. So that would make sense to have that way. But yeah, just to say out of nowhere, like, oh, you gotta get that amulet, it will kill him. It's like out. It's just so far out of left field. Like it doesn't make. There's no premise for it. It just what? There's no build to that. They don't even talk about the amulet other than that opening scene of the movie where we see it. Never once is it talked about, referenced, or seen really again until now.
Right.
You know,
it's bad. But Shepis tells Heather to run to town and get folks to come back and hunt Alex Black. She says this. She says, go to town and get people to come back and, round up a posse. Not even like 2 seconds later, Alex Black shows up and buries a fucking pickaxe into the chest of Shepis, turns towards Heather, and out of nowhere is a fucking posse of people. Like, were they following? Did Heather just turn in the fucking flash and run to town and be like, come on, posse, let's go? They all fucking warp back and just opening fire at this guy.
Yeah, she's opening portals like Blink or something like that. Just like, let me open a portal to this.
So crazy. It's so crazy. I mean, there's no excuse for this.
There is none whatsoever.
So he's not going down. The posse's like, oh my God. Heather jumps up, grabs the amulet in slow motion and tears it off his chest. Tiffany Shepis' dead ass, comes back to life and goes, smash it, and then dies again.
Yes!
Heather smashes it on the ground. The posse decides that's their cue to open fire again, because she doesn't say shoot him now, but they start shooting his ass, and there's a whole bunch of squibs going off. He's getting shit shot out of him. He falls to the ground dead. Heather stands up like, yeah, way to go, posse. But not even 2 seconds later, he gets back up and grabs her like he's going to kill her. Freeze frame. End of movie.
Yep. What the fuck? I mean, what the fuck is happening? Like this, nothing makes sense. So get the amulet, that's what kills him. Nope, apparently not. I mean, bullets, what? Nothing makes sense in this at all. Nothing made fucking sense. All right, so I mean, is that it, Aaron? You got anything else you want to add before we move on?
That's it. That's the end of the movie. Let's kill this turd.
All right, let's move on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right, what do you got this week, Aaron, for your favorite kill?
You know what? I'm going to have to give credit where credit's due. And I'm going to have to say the hillbilly couple who are fucking by the dumpster getting killed.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a quick duo kill. That's my favorite. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. Hands down, I'll make it real quick. Yeah, 100% agree with you. It's mine's the same way. It's the hillbilly couple at the bar by the dumpster. 100% agree. So there we go. That was super quick. Let's move on to the odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
All right, IMDb, we start with the ratings. IMDb gives it a 2.9 out of 10.
Oof.
Rotten Tomatoes is not on the site at all. There is no score, no audience score, no thermometer score. Amazon, being Amazon, gives it a 3 out of 5. Plot keywords, there's only 5 plot keywords for this movie. Summer camp, which doesn't make any sense because it's not a camp.
Well, hold on. Well, maybe that's where the prostitutes have their old summer camp.
Yeah, maybe that's where they were. The pimp just takes up lodging into summer camp, turns into a fucking whore hangout. Yeah, okay.
Didn't they say there was a camp Arapaho?
Yeah, like where like the previous murders took place, but we're never there. We never see it. You never see flashbacks. It's just mentioned once.
They changed to Camp Fuck-a-Ho.
Fuck-a-Ho. It's right. There we go. Camp Fuck-a-Ho. It's Satan, slasher, 80s slasher, and crowdfunding were the plot keywords. No trivia. I couldn't find any trivia on this. Budget game. Nope, couldn't find the budget. So that's it for odds and ends. Real quick this week. So let's go straight into our 5-star reviews.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat combat?
All right, so Amazon reviews. There are 64 total reviews on this movie on the site. 35% are 5-star, with 34% 1-star. So pretty much split right down the middle on these. Starting off with 5-star from Amazon customer. Excellent 80s style slasher, raunchy humor, partying, tits, blood, and guts. What more could you ask for? People are going to either love it or hate it. If you like any/all of the above, you're sure to love Pickaxe. 5 stars. Ryan Stone writes, Jeremy Summerall did his favorite genre proud. The story is solid and entertaining. It has great direction and cinematography. There's blood, tits, and laughs galore. 5 stars. Now you start seeing a pattern here in these reviews. Jackie writes, titties and blood. What else could you want in a movie? 5 stars. Deborah Gutjahar writes, if you like boobs, blood, and 80s nostalgia, then this film's for you.
Huh.
And lastly, from Josh Rhodes, right? Some complain about the cheesy or 80s type style. If you actually pay attention, this movie is based on of being in the 80s, which makes zero fucking sense. If you like sex, gore, and breasts in your 80s movies, this is your movie. It brings you back to the good old days without CGI crap, 80s slasher like Puppet Master and such, cheesy parts that make you laugh, and other parts that make you want more. Definitely great movie, well worth a watch. Don't buy it with the intention of something like the new TCM movie, but the intentions of Puppet Master, Friday the 13th, Part 1 through 4, Demonic Toys, Sleepaway Camp, and like Silent Night, Deadly Night. Nothing but blood, gore, breasts, and action. The wife and I love the movie. Even got it autographed. 5 stars. Oh. So moving on to 1 stars from Gradient. Right, 30 minutes in and nothing has happened, but unlikable 30-year-olds pretending to be high schools. Literally, I gave up. I sat through all of I sat through all of Troll 2. Do not believe the positive reviews. 1 star. From Wiccan Gas. No memorable performances and some I am glad I won't see again. Take the standard formula of this type of flick and then dumb it down, way down. Throw in a lot of nudity and sex jokes. One was actually worth a chuckle, and throw in the lamest, shallowest characters ever, and you have the high points of this flick. 1 star. The last 3 I wrote down from Cajun Asian. A paint-by-numbers horror film by those who cannot count. What a convoluted mess of a film, and not even a good mess. The only good part of this film was Tiffany Shepis, and she must have been paid most of the $15.99 budget and a free small Winnie's Frosty for her efforts. This is exactly how not to make a horror film. Mistake 1 is to buy a complete horror monster costume and not piece together 2 or 3 from the Halloween store at 80% off 1 week after Halloween. I give this film 5 poop emojis. 1 star.
Or 5 poop.
or 5 poop emojis, yeah. From B and S About Movies. The movie was originally filmed 5 years ago as The Pickaxe Murders Part 3, the final chapter, but it's finally been released. It starts with 2 teenagers aardvarking inside a mine before a girl starts speaking Latin and bathes herself in a dude's blood. So there's that. 1 star. And from Lauren Marco just writes, this is so bad. There's more sex scene and stupid teenage drama shit than actual killing. 1 star. So I know that's it, man. That was what other people thought. Now, what did we think? Aaron, what's your final take on this?
I usually go first, but since I ran through, why don't you go first? Give us your thoughts. You kick us off.
All right. I'm gonna say so bad it's scary. Mostly because nothing makes sense. The acting's terrible. The characters are unlikable. The titties are not the best to look at. Tiffany Shepis is basically phoning it in. I really like the idea of thinking. I really hope to think that she was just drunk the entire time filming, which would make it kind of fun if that was the case. But I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm gonna think it is. And otherwise, it just falls into the forgetful pile of all the other hundreds of slashers that are out there that we normally really like and enjoy watching. But this one just is basically forgettable and gets lost in the bottom of the bin type of thing for me. So, so bad it's scary. That's my take. I'm not gonna go too much depth on it this week. What about you?
Yeah,
Aaron?
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to say so bad it's scary, but I feel like there was some promise there in the beginning. I thought their opening was actually probably the strongest part of the movie. I thought that was probably the most. It had decent, decent low budget effects. The chick getting naked, having a blood sacrifice. The rising of the dead. Okay, I'm on board.
I'll give you. Yeah, you're right. Like that was kind of promising, and it was interesting. But then they just they never followed it up with like explain anything about this ritual or why.
Is she? And yeah,
they never explained. They don't even explain really Aleister. I keep saying Aleister Black because there was a wrestler named Aleister Black, but Alex Black's origin. Like, why is this what's so wrong? Why is this amulet tied to him? Why is this amulet so powerful? Where does it come from? What's his power? Like, where did he come from? Like, there's nothing's ever explained in this movie at all when it comes to any of that.
As I was saying,
sorry.
No, it's okay. It had promise. I felt like I was on board the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then it just went off the fucking rails into it felt like Revenge of the Nerds Part 3 with gore. Like, the humor was so sporadic and bizarre. There were some lines that were pretty funny, and there were a lot that weren't. So whenever you had the teenagers on, it was like this wacky, crazy comedy hijinks, titties and jerk offs and then you had this fucking dynamic between old Sheriff Numbnuts and Tiffany Shepis getting drunk all the time. Okay. And it's like different dynamics playing against each other. It's like, whose story are we going to follow? And it didn't fucking matter because they both sucked.
Yeah.
And then you have a little comic relief with, whorehouse wrestler and the fucking hillbilly dumpster divers. And the thing that probably could have saved it was good kills, but they didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to say about it's scary. I agree with what you said. It's forgettable. They didn't do a good job of accentuating the positives, even though they tried. They had tits, but just not great tits, man.
No, not real great ones. All
right,
right, well, that's it for this week, guys. Like I said, it was probably a bumpy episode, but like I said, shit happens, life gets in the way.
It was actually kind of fun.
It was all right. We'll see.
I think it may be one of our better episodes in a while. We had good flow, good chemistry. We laughed. We were like, this movie sucks.
This movie does suck. We have that. But all right, guys, like I said in the beginning, if you have more movie suggestions for us, you want to try to stump us, or if you want to try to break our wills and our spirits, keep sending the shit our way. We love it. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon. So in the meantime, guys, you know what to do. Watch more horror movies. And remember to always keep it tight.